summer, Sky Cinema presents
movies, matches, and plenty of other content, all on demand. It's a formula that's helped the UK broadcaster Sky gain 23 million subscribers. US media giants Comcast and 21st Century Fox have long wanted to buy it out, and this weekend they battled for it at auction.
Well, it is an unusual way of resolving the bid battle, but it's not unprecedented. We have seen a couple of examples of this over the course of the last 10 or 15 years or so, where the takeover panel have resorted to this auction process.
Comcast came out on top, offering $40 billion to buy a majority share in Sky. It outfoxed a competing bid by 21st Century Fox, which already owns 39% of the company. The announcement sparked a rally in Sky stock, which jumped almost 9% on Monday, and Sky's directors are urging shareholders to accept the deal.
As the price of the Comcast offer is materially superior, it is in the best interests of all Sky shareholders to accept the Comcast offer.
TV audiences have been cutting the cord and going online. This acquisition would help Comcast compete with online content providers like Amazon and Netflix. But plenty of dark clouds still surround the Sky deal. If Rupert Murdoch's 21st Century Fox decides to sell its shares, Comcast will need to cough up $15 billion to pay for the purchase. If Murdoch doesn't sell, Comcast will have to rely on a smaller number of shareholders to approve the deal. Investors have until the end of this week to decide, but regulators will still have to approve the deal. So it could be a while before Comcast reaches Sky. Mubin Nasir, TRT World.
Let's get more on this now with TRT World's editor-at-large, Craig Peters, who joins us from Paris. Hello there, Craig. From a user's point of view, I suppose what everyone wants to know is, am I still going to be able to watch my favourite shows, and am I going to have to pay more for these subscriptions?
Well, the answer is Comcast says you will. You probably won't have to pay more at first, but eventually you obviously will because you're getting close to a monopoly here. The Comcast gamble is based on a pretty old notion that TV is the goose that lays the golden egg. But for the past few years, that golden goose has been laying nothing but scrambled eggs for the TV business, and Comcast thinks it can start laying caviar for them. And it's a big, big gamble. Yeah,
interestingly, in amongst all of this, one of the most sought-after assets is probably that stake in Hulu that Mobeen alluded to earlier. But can Comcast afford to pay this huge amount of money?
Well, the banks obviously think so. The actual price tag is $38.8 billion US dollars, and that amount is completely underwritten by debt. So the banks obviously think Comcast can pull it off. And it's not just these digital products. Remember, Sky also has a very large fiber network. It's got broadband. It's got content distribution. It's got the Premier League and a whole lot of other stuff that Comcast NBC thinks could help them expand their base. They'll now have a total with Comcast and Sky. It's in the neighborhood of 53 million customers.
Yeah, it's certainly a very valuable prize. As we also heard in Mobeen's report, there's still a lot that can go wrong in this deal. Is there a chance that this could break Comcast as we know it?
I don't think so, not short term. Look, this is a battle for the soul of the things you see, whether they're on computer or on TV. This battle is more between the Hollywoods and the Hollywood people and the folks in Silicon Valley, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and all those guys.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be an interesting battle. And does this reduce Murdoch's influence over not only the British media, but perhaps the British political scene as well?
Look, it was 1997, the James Bond film Tomorrow Never Dies, when Rupert Murdoch was last officially made a villain. Murdoch's getting old. You know, his children aren't really as interested in wielding the political influence as their father. Rupert Murdoch is going to go into the history books. You know, he will still control a lot of the British press and a lot of the politicians through that press. But I think his power is waning.
Right, and is Sky going to be able to come out of this in exactly the same shape that it's in right now?
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to see some layoffs there as things go on, because there's going to be some overlapping. Look, NBC Comcast already broadcast, Euro news out of Lyon here in France. There's a lot of shared content. I think you're probably going to see some cutbacks as this thing goes through. But today is the day for the shareholders to celebrate. Comcast went into $38.8 billion worth of debt to give Sky shareholders a payday. Go have fun with the money.
And don't we feel happy for them? Craig Copetas in Paris. Thank you.